Today guys, I'm going to show you how to vinyl wrap a wall using architectural vinyl wrap. These are all the tools you need. You've got a heat gun, you've got a knife, a squeegee, the bigger the better, degreaser, a big ruler, and you need a platform or a step ladder. So for those of you who are wondering what is architectural vinyl wrap, it's similar to car wrap, but this is used for indoors, either commercial or household. You can use it on your kitchens, on your wardrobes, on your walls, you name it. Honestly, the possibilities are endless. It really is a game changer. The material typically lasts 10 years. It is waterproof. The brand we use and we sell is Luxaria Decor. I'm going to show you some of the finishes you can get. So here are the wood finishes. It's actually crazy. You've got marble, fabric, cement. Good thing about architectural vinyl is everything is textured. So the cement feels like cement, wood feels like wood. So once it's on, it does not for one moment feel like it's been wrapped. There's always new styles coming out. I'm going to leave the link for Luxaria Decor in the description. It is available in many countries, and we actually also ship this anywhere around the world. Now I'm going to show you the difference between the cheap interior vinyl, which you can pick up at quite a lot of DIY stores, and good quality film. So you can see here, this is the good stuff. It has small air release channels, so it's bubble-free application. You squeegee over it and the air releases. Here is the stuff you can usually find at DIY stores. You can already tell it's not bubble-free. You see how cheap it feels, no texture to it. Let's have a look at the thickness. I think you can just tell. So that's the difference between good film and not so good film. I'm going to leave a description for the link for Luxaria Decor in the description. You can virtually wrap anything from kitchens, wardrobes, walls. Okay, now let's go on to wrapping the wall. Before we start, you're going to brush the full wall, get rid of any loose dust, and then you're going to use a degreaser to wipe it all down. Now, if you're wrapping directly on skim, you do need to treat it, you need to seal it. The way you do that is you get some PVA glue, mix it with water, and just roll it on and let it dry. We measured the wall, we've cut all our pieces. Always leave like a 10-15 centimeter extra for the edges. Always use the ruler to cut it straight, because this is going to help us lining it up against the wall edges. Okay, so now the fun part. We're going to fold over around 20 centimeters of the backing paper over onto itself. So we've got this much of it remaining. Right, let's go put the piece on. I'm just going to drop the roll. Done. Okay. Line it up the best you can. Always remember, some walls are not straight. Okay, so I've tacked this top bit up. Believe me, this is the hardest bit, is just getting it straight. Now, we've tacked the top bit up. What we need to do, we need to check that it's equal going down and on this side. So my wall was not straight. This wall was not straight. So it was impossible for me to line this against the edge. But if you've got a straight wall, which is very rarely the case, then I'd say to you, just line it up against that the best you can. That way you won't need to cut this. Make sure it's flat while you're checking it. Yep, equal everywhere. We're looking good. Time to put it on. We're going to tack this bit on first. Remember, we're going to use a ruler to cut all of this. Okay, we're going to start to peel the backing paper off. It'll get a bit hard on this side to peel it off because it's falling over. It's all right. So if you've got two people, it is a lot easier because one person can hold it at the bottom. I'm going to show you guys how you can do it yourself because it's just that easy. As you can see, I'm squeegeeing it. Now with this film, you've got air release technology, so there is no bubbles. If there is, you press it and it's gone. Like I showed you guys before on that film. It has a very minute holes on the adhesive side. Also, it's always your first one that tends to be hard. This one, we're going to overlap it onto here by a bit, and then we're going to double cut it, which is a technique which I'll show you guys where it will just flow. Okay, now that's all on. I'm going to show you guys the cutting side of stuff. Got this corner. What we're going to do, we're going to cut off extra material. So I cut this piece a lot bigger than it should be. The better you cut, the easier it is to install. But at the same time, you'd rather cut it big than have it short. Okay, so as you can see, I made a little triangle cut in the corner. Now that's got in. Also remember, we're going to have skirting board that goes there as well. So I'm just going to cut this. We're going to use a ruler now to cut a straight edge for the corner. If you don't have a ruler, you can always use your squeegee and go against that. Okay, so we're going to cut on this wall here, not on this wall, because then we've got a really high chance of miscutting it. So all we want to do is overlap it onto this wall by about 2 millimeters. If you're unsure, always cut a little bit extra. You'd rather have it extra than cut short because you can always cut it again. This is why we have the heat gun, because as you can see, some places they're not stuck. What the heat gun does is it activates the adhesive faster. So we're going to heat it. Heat all of that. That makes it stick. Heat that edge also. The reason being is we're going to overlap this one over onto this, and then we're going to double cut. Now, when the vinyl is made, it's actually stretched. So now what can happen over time is with heat, it can shrink back. So sometimes after, I don't know, 6 months, you might have a small line here, which is more visible than when you first applied it. So the best thing to do is to heat it. That way, we're gonna remove the possibility of it stretching back. Because what this will do is it'll delete the memory of the film, and it'll also activate the glue so it sticks stronger. But if you see bits which are not straight around the finishing and stuff, we can always go over everything at the end. So what I normally do, I'll put it on, cut extra material off, and then at the end, I'll go through the full finishing in one shot. That's why it's crucial, you don't cut it short. If you cut it short, we don't have any extra to cut. Always best to have extra. If in doubt, cut more, cut more, cut more, because then you've always got a chance to rectify it. This is much easier than wallpapering. And the material is 10 times better. Okay, let's drop it. Let's have a look. Are we overlapping? Okay. So we need to overlap it a little bit more. Always remember to keep it flat to see your overlap. Yeah, we're looking good here. We're ready to put it on. Also, if you're from the UK or Morocco, you can contact Casa di Vinyl, who offer nationwide installation for kitchen wraps, wall wrapping, commercial, household, and they are nationwide. I will put the link for Casa de Vinyl and also Luxaria Decor in the description. Not sure if you can see it, but we do have an overlap there. Now, some stuff, you can leave it as an overlap because it looks fine. For example, this, you could leave it. With wood, which have the wood grain finish, you could leave that also. It's not a problem because it just flows. It flows, the texture flows anyway, so it's fine. With this, you could leave it as well. But I am going to do it just to show you guys how to do it. Okay, so remember, we're going to heat it first because we don't want it stretching back in the future. So we're going to heat it now, so we're going to get all the stretch out of it. If you did do car wrapping before, honestly, you're going to find architectural wrap very easy to do. Okay, as you can see, we've got a sharp blade. This is important. You need a sharp blade. We need to cut into both layers of the film. We've now made the cut. We're going to lift this one up. Remember, that's the one we've just placed, right? Now we're going to lift this piece. This is what you call the double cut. We've cut the one underneath at the same time. Now we're going to peel that one off. Okay, now these two should join together and become flawless. Done. As you can see, you wouldn't even be able to tell where it joins. I'm going to finish off the rest of the wall and show you guys how it looks once done. If you've got obstacles in the way like the switch, it's always best to remove it. If you've got any small obstacles in the way, like here we had a wire coming out of the wall, gently heat it up. And now we can cut around that. I completely forgot to take the switch out, but not a problem. I dropped it until here. I cut it here and here. I let it drop further. Then we went over onto here. We cut it there. We cut it there. And then I did a small cut across here. So we had a square. And then we just pulled it over. Now, as you can see, we have all this extra material. So what we're going to do, we're just going to heat it, warm it up. Same again here. just gonna get this line underneath. So here it's been cut a little bit extra, so we've got a bit of a white gap showing here. But because it's underneath the switch, you can just put another piece. Okay, now we can just peel the backing paper off and go straight to the bottom. So we've got an area where the shutter comes in the way. So what we do, get some old backing paper. We're going to put it behind there. We're going to cut roughly this shape. Or you could just use a pen and mark it up. You wanted to wrap like extra bits. For example, you might have a trim, you might want to go over it. So I'll show you how it's done. So we're going to warm it up. Made it soft. So the film is conformable. So everything's starting to look good apart from this light switch. So I've decided I'm going to wrap it. I did tell you guys, you can do all sorts with this. Wall is done. A few tips: when you're at the top and you're tacking your initial point, try and make sure that it lines up. The more you got to re-lift the film and put it back, the less the adhesive becomes weaker. It's better just to get it on the first shot. Now, also, if you've got like weak paint on the wall, when you go to pull it back, the paint comes off with it. And if that happens, the material just gone to waste. Now, I'll show you the up close finish. This room is actually becoming our YouTube studio. We do have some exciting content that's going to be coming. And this wall is actually going to be crazy once it's done. I've got like this crazy design that's going on there, which is going to showcase a lot of different architectural wraps. The brand we've used is Luxaria Decor. We also sell it. I will put the link in the description. And if you're from the UK or Morocco, I will also put a link in the description for Casa di Vanille, which is a nationwide installation. You know, if you don't want to do it, you can always just request a quote and we will send somebody out to you to do it. Yeah, I'll just show you a bit of the finishing as well. So we've managed to even take it over here. Yeah, so you can use the offcuts for any little extra details that you want to do. Like I told you, the film can be used for all sorts. So I decided to wrap it as well. You know, it just blends in nicely. You've got all sorts of finishes. You can get wood, concrete, cement. This is another one from Luxaria Decor. But yeah, guys, I hope you like it. Like and subscribe. We will have some more content coming soon.